Alright, we are recording. Hey guys, RathDaKrogan here. Today I'm going to be doing a little something different. Change things up a bit. Now, in the past, I've done a few reviews on different things, and, I don't really like doing review videos, but I thought that, I've done a lot of VR over the years. A lot of VR. I've played pretty much every game that I could find and conceive except for horror games, which I'm very bad at. But, I wanted to talk about and do a somewhat quick review of the Oculus Rift. Now, I'm going to go into depth on what I like about it, what I hate about it, some of the issues I've had with it, which, my computer's pretty brand new. It's got some stuff that's a bit old in it. Hard drives are a bit out of date. Still using those standard hard drives instead of solid states. Ugh, I know, shudder. But, anyways, back on topic, where do I want to start with it? Well, let's talk about when it comes right out of the box. Typically your Oculus Rift comes with the headset, 2 sensors, some cleaning tools, and the USB plug-in, blah blah blah, this and this. So, right out of the box, you'll be able to basically plug in your USB. And part of the issue that you're going to find with VR in terms of what you need is you need a powerful computer. You're going to need a computer that can handle VR in particular. Typically what that involves is, what I always suggest is a 1070. People usually do a 1060. It's like bare minimum, works fine. I always go say 1070 because even with the 1060, I have a setup that I wanted to test with it and it works okay. It's not great. I mean, Oculus does handle better with the 1060 than the HTC Vive, which I've also am running, which I'll be doing a review on that in a bit later. I never use it for gameplays because my computer can't render for streaming and doing Vive for some odd reason. But anyways, back to the Oculus. So what you will get is a USB 3.0, which most computers nowadays have 3.0. If you're stuck with a computer without one like my server was, this requires you to spend a little extra money and find what's called a USB riser, which is usually 4 or 5.
So much blood.
What is it? It's like a height thing. It's a little card that you slide in and get them on Amazon. They're usually like 30, 40 bucks. What they do is they have USBs on the side that faces outwards, and you basically slide your thing in, and it has to be a certain card, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. It's like with the Kinect. If you ever use the Kinect, you know that, well, I just plugged it into a normal USB port. Why isn't it working? Well, Kinect has to use that 3.1 and 3.0 third generation, and it's like, well, what do? You have to spend money on a card for it.
I'm about to shut the pod.
It's dumb. But once you find enough, which I had to get a riser with 5, I was easily able to fit the 3 of the prongs USBs into it. Once you put that in, you basically plug the headset put the headset on, and this is where you run into what's another problem is for people like me that wear glasses. Under absolutely no circumstance should you ever, if you wear glasses, use your glasses in VR. I found this out the most dumb, redundant, and dumb way. So what happened was, I've owned actually 2 Vives, not 2 Vives, 2 Oculuses, because I threw one, basically, I had to ditch one. So what happens is, when you've got glasses like me, you put the headset on, the lenses in your glasses will rub against the Vive, or the VR lenses, which is that the glass lenses inside, and they're not, indestructible. Even a tight abrasive, slight movements of your glasses will immediately scratch and basically damage the VR headset. Which I did, and after about 3 or 4 months of using it, I had called Oculus and said, hey, I'm having issues, I can't see through the VR headset. They said, you wear glasses? I said, of course. I mean, that's both. Some people wear glasses, and they said we don't cover damages due to glasses and scratches, which is dumb. They knew right away that this would be an issue, so they should have included some of those little adapters, which I immediately, after I replaced the Oculus, I bought the lens adapters, which were 80 bucks for 2 eyes, basically. And that's something I'll get into later. But once you plug it in, get everything set up, you put the headset on, it has you set up what's called room scale. So if you're like me, when we moved in this new house, made sure I have an area for
Final
VR,
choices, people.
and
Enemies on the
it's a
scope.
big area. It's like about 15 by 20. No, it's about 15 by 15. So I've got enough room for VR. So you set it up, you put the sensors, and you point them the direction you want them to go, and then you hold. I think it's A
Time's
and B,
almost up.
something like that, and it does what's called a scan. Make sure all the sensors are pointing, and they can actually track you. That is one of the most annoying things ever, because you don't realize it once you
Go
set
kill
it
some Zeds.
and say, oh crap, I ran into my cables. Well, you have to reset that up every single time because it starts to glitch out, blah blah this, blah blah that. So another one of those things that I absolutely hate when it does that. And it usually the next generation should fix that. But once you get everything up and running and set up and you're playing it and you finally get all those sensors set up and you set your height, which you want to make sure you set that to your actual height, you can finally get into the Oculus store, which requires you to make a Facebook account. If you're like some people and don't want to use Facebook, you still have to make one to get games. So it's dumb. It's absolutely stupid. It's worse than those online only games. Some people like me don't like to have Facebook where all my information gets out there. So I get it. But so then we bring this up to the gameplay and how the VR works. So the Oculus in particular, since that's what we're covering today, has the knuckle controllers, which are my favorite of all time. Compared to the Vive, it throws the Vive controllers way out there. It's like, you could take those and throw them away if only it's useful. But the knuckle controllers are, for a while they're weird to use, but they track your fingers and where they're located by pressure, I believe is how it's called. So it's kind of like when you use a haptic touchpad on an iPad in particular. You don't necessarily have to touch the screen. Sometimes the lightest like hovering above it will indicate it. Same idea. Fucking flies. Same idea. So it tracks where your hands are. So when you grip, you get more. You feel like you're actually gripping the gun, not in feeling, but like in game, it translates your movement. So when you like some of the games I played, like H3. Horseshoes, hot dogs, and hand grenades, you actually feel like the gun is in your hand because of the way the gripping is. So, or for example, a game like what's another one? Fallout.
Almost out of time.
That is a good example of like the Vive controller. If it's like holding onto a what's the best way to put it? You know the PlayStation or the Wii wands, kind of like that. There's a bit of feedback in it, but not as much as like Oculus. Basically, the best way to put it, it's like the Power Glove versus a Wii controller.
Last chance.
That's how they kind of
I have to power down the pod.
And for me, it's the Vive is okay. It looks a lot better when it runs, but it's just nothing can beat those knuckle controllers.
Break time's over.
So once you
Get
actually
back to
figure
work.
it out, there's a little
All
tutorial on
Zeds
how to
inbound.
pick things up, interact, and there's a little bot gameplay, and it's kind of cool. But once you finally get into the store and start buying games, there's a bunch of Oculus has some of the most crazy great games. Lone Echo is by far my favorite. But you want to get basic games, and if you don't already know, the Oculus Store, aka Oculus Rift, does support stuff like Steam games, Steam VR. So you'll want to install that as well, because you know there's a lot of free games on both. And Robo Recall is by far the greatest free game for Oculus. So I would suggest picking that up. It's a fun shooter. Kind of gets you into the whole mindset. Now, once you get into VR and play with it for a while, you're going to want to do what I do and upgrade to a second or a third or a fourth sensor. And this is talk about the sensors really quick. So, best way to put it is, if you ever remember like how a webcam, like not a webcam, but like a security camera works. You've got the dome security cams that cover like a whole room, and those are new technology, but older technology would have a camera in one corner, but it would have a field of view, so it would be like a cone.
I can reopen the
So same idea with VR, it has an infrared cone that it sees in that area, and further away from the cone you get, the less clear it will be, and if you're on the side of those cones, it won't pick you up at all. So if you imagine like the front of your room is, if you imagine a square room and you put the sensors, you're basically covering a certain view with those sensors. So if you step outside of it, you don't get that good a view. Same idea, if you turn around 360 degrees, you're only seeing the back of the headset, which isn't tracked as well, and your hands can be blocked if they're in front of you. So again, a third and fourth sensor will cover the back. So basically, you turn people looking behind you, away from the sensors, the other two will pick you up,
Pod is open again.
which helps a
Let's
lot.
get you restocked.
And as for, I really want to keep this video
I'm
short,
impressed
but
by
it's
your
already in
survival
10
instinct
minutes.
out there.
Jeez. But another thing I wanted to,
Bonjour.
so once you get all that
Come and
up,
get
you
your
get the
tools
third and
of
fourth
trade.
sensors, it really will feel a lot better, a lot less janky movements when you're shooting or playing kind of exploration games. You won't lag as much. God, I've had some times where you're holding your hands and they suddenly shift to the side because it loses sensor tracking. But once you get that, and I will say though that the Vive sensors are a lot better. They're
Bring up
by
the trading
far,
controls
because of the way
and
they're set up,
upgrade
the
your
lighthouses are astronomically better. And I hope Oculus in their next Oculus
More
Rift
Zeds on the
take that
way.
into account,
Start
and
to
or
wrap
use
things up, as they
the
say.
6FO, whatever it's called, tracking. But other than that, once you get the sensor set up and you've got your basically your third and fourth, you're gonna want to choose how you want to play VR, and it depends on your game.
Last chance.
I prefer
I have to power
standing,
down the pod.
but some people don't like to stand for extended periods of time, so they'll sit down. And depending on where you're sitting and how you're sitting,
So much
I
Time's
would
up.
suggest getting like a racing
kill
setup
some Zeds.
because it's much easier to track your arms. But sitting is one of the things that the sensors tend to not like because of chairs. If you really mean got arms on your chair, you're V-shaped, and that kind of conflicts. But other than that, those are the basic things. There's a few things I really hated about Rift. As for the things I really like, I will say the immersiveness you get, immersivity? No, it's just immersiveness. The amount of immersion you get from VR is just, as one of my friends put it, once you put the headset on and play games, you really don't want to go back to flat screens and screens in general. It's just, it changes your whole perspective. Things feel scarier. Even simple shootouts feel more intense. You feel your heart rate. If you ride a roller coaster, you actually feel like you're going down a hill. Your brain is just tripped. And it's like one of those things like, you'll hear people say, oh no, VR is not realistic. You can't feel those things. You're just saying that. When you play VR, if you ever get a chance, chat with a friend that has one and just try it out. There's no real way to explain it. It's just one of the best experiences you'll ever have. And I hate to say it, even games like Elite Dangerous, you can play that without VR. I don't want to. Flying through an asteroid belt and shooting enemies is just like, holy shit, man. It just blows your mind. And there's a lot of things like that, little things like that really make you want to go back and play it. Things like Lone Echo, floating through space and pulling yourself along is just, holy cow, this is cool. First moment you step outside of the airlock, you're like, oh my god, this is VR. This is the experience that I want to feel. Now, I can't even imagine watching it from, like, the best way to put it is when you have VR, if you have somebody else play it and you're watching on the screen, you don't feel that. It's like playing Call of Duty on your TV. You just don't feel a sense of urgency to keep yourself alive. Let me put it like this. When you play Call of Duty and you get shot, your instinct is, oh god, I died. Well, I'll just respawn. When you're in VR and you feel bullets, you can hear bullets whizzing past your head. That's a whole new perspective. You feel like, oh my god, there's an urgency to get the hell down, and it is just crazy. And it's all pandemonium and chaos. When you're reloading and onward, it's not like a game where you just hit a button and you wait. You have to pull it, you have to mess with the clip. You're still getting shot at. It's like, I hate to say it, it's like real war. Except there's no dying aspect, but you feel like your life is in danger and you must defend yourself. That's what immersion is. Could you imagine a game like Destiny with VR? Or GTA even? I'm pretty sure most people would say sitting there and facing the guy robbing him as you're stealing money from him. Like, imagine robbing a bank like in GTA. Would you be more willing to just go up and start shooting all the civilians when you see their face up close? Like they're right in front of you? It just could you imagine even GTA like hijacking a car? How cool that would be! It just adds to the immersion. But it's that kind of thing that I think, despite all the shortcomings
I'm
and
about
all
to
the
shut
bad
the pod.
things that have been said so far, I think the immersiveness is by far what you should take from this. Go try it out. If you don't want to buy it,
All Z's
I
on the
understand. And most
Back
people
to
will
it,
say,
vis-a-vis.
hey, wait till another generation or two. And I say, too, Oculus and the Vive are basically prototypes. Everybody wants to say, well, this is the greatest thing ever. They are just prototypes. They're things put out to get you into it, get people attracted to it, and draw attention to it. A few years from now, there'll be Vive 2, a Rift, or a HTC Vive 3, or whatever the basically Vive and Oculus new generation, and they will fix many of the problems we're facing now. Now they won't be full dive. That's probably